So, don't be awkward, okay?
I'm not.
You're not. We kind of
You
already
recorded?
started.
Yeah,
We kind of started.
Okay.
So I'm Alex, right? So you're Julian.
Hi, my name is Julyan.
We just handshaked, and then we are right outside. Like we're in your car, right?
Yeah, we're
Beautiful.
in a car outside of the Hollywood movie theater in Nolana.
Nolana. Yeah. Did you said that you watched Crazy Rich Asians today, right? Or was it yesterday?
I actually watched it yesterday, and a week before when it came out, I actually watched it then too.
Yeah. So when you watched it yesterday, did you watch it here in Hollywood?
No, the first time I watched it at Bistro.
Yeah, we watched it together.
Yeah, we
for sure.
went to go watch it together.
It was Wednesday or something.
It was a Wednesday. It was the day that it came out.
Yeah, the day that came, and it was like there wasn't a lot of people, right?
Yeah, because we watched at the last showing, so there was only
okay.
like maybe 10 to 15 people that were there.
Yeah, but it was super good.
Yeah, it was really good.
And then yesterday you watched it with.
I watched it with a roommate of mine.
Yeah, but where did you watch it? Which
I
movie theater?
Went to go watch it in FAR, the one near
Okay.
the FAR movie theater, the one near.
I don't know.
It's the one near World Market.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. I don't know.
Yeah, it's the one right over there.
Yeah. I know
Main
which
event.
one.
Yeah.
Main event. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's the one next
the-
to main event.
Yeah, got you. So then, you watched it there, and then so I guess we didn't. I thought you watched it here, but this one in Hollywood.
Well, this is the closest cinema movie. It's in the house, so it's not bad.
Yeah, you're living it right now in McAllen, right?
Yeah, I live in McAllen at the moment.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna say your address. I was like, no.
Oh
bro.
no, I wasn't gonna say my address.
And then so we watched it last time on Wednesday, I think.
Yeah.
What's today?
about a
Just so
week
that
ago.
people have an idea. Today's
Wednesday, so we watched it specifically a week ago.
But today's the 21st or 22nd?
Today's the 22nd.
Yeah, today's the 22nd. So we watched it last week. It was really good, right? So
Yeah.
Crazy Rich Asians, can you give like a quick synopsis? It's like all Asian cast, first time,
so it's so basically the hype about this movie, or the very controversial topic, is because it's the first all Asian cast in about 25 years.
Right.
So it's very it's, I mean, I wouldn't say it's very controversial, but it's considered like a movement, because for the last 25 years we haven't seen any movies that deals, or like that has an all Asian cast. Yeah. So it's very very empowering at the moment.
Yeah, and you said it was also a rom-com, like I think romantic comedy,
it's
right?
a rom-com. So basically the synopsis of the movie is that so there's this girl who is a professor at the University of
New York
University.
She's economics major.
Yeah, she's
Rachel Chu, right?
Yeah, Rachel Chu. So that's her name, and so her current boyfriend invites her to meet his family, which happens to be like one of the
China,
richest.
Singapore.
It was in Singapore, so his family is like one of the richest families in all of Singapore. So she didn't know that at the time. So the whole movie just deals with like family and how Rachel kind of secures her identity and stuff like that.
Yeah, so she's poor. Like her mother, is a single mother.
Yeah.
And then and she doesn't have no idea. She goes over there, and then everybody's rich. Everybody has like lawyers and like entrepreneur, like huge titles, right?
Yeah.
And then they all look at her like, "Who are you?"
Yeah.
And then she gets like judged a lot, and then everybody just tells her, "Screw you! Like, who are you? You're so basic."
So basically, like, I think just because of the title that the main character has, the boyfriend, she's ridiculed just because she's not in the same level, or like the same stature as him.
Right.
So when she goes into Singapore, she engulfs herself into this situation where she's constantly being judged on and constantly being ridiculed just because she's not in the same level as them.
Okay, cool. So yeah, I guess we can talk a little bit more about Crazy Rich Asians, but people don't know you, and then they kind of know me. It doesn't matter about me too much. But I'm Asian, right? I'm half Japanese, half Mexican. You are Filipino, right?
Yes, I'm full-blood Filipino.
Full-blood. Yeah, cool. So you're saying that your family is here, your close family, but you do have family in the Philippines, right?
Yeah, so basically my family and I migrated to the United States when I was about 12.
Wait, so you're Julian, what's your last name?
My Julian. My last name is Badon. 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 So my first name is Julian, my last name is Badon.
Yeah.
Yeah, so back to what I was saying. So basically, my family and I migrated to the United States when I was about 12 years old. My mom, like most Filipino mothers, she's a nurse.
Right.
And so originally, when she was in the Philippines, she wasn't a nurse. She was working at a bank. She was like an accountant or something like that. But she figured that if you know how most Asian parents are, they want to do everything for their kids, and so she figured that if she wanted us to have better opportunities, and that's why she studied nursing over there. So she did that, and then she finally got a job here, and then so she migrated with us here in the United States to give us a better opportunity and stuff.
You say when you were 12, right?
When I was about 12,
yeah.
I think I just basically barely turned 12.
So you say there's 7, right? So it's your mom, your dad, right?
It's my mom, my dad. I have an older brother. I have 2 younger brother and then 1 younger sister.
Okay. So 4
boys and 1 girl.
One girl. Wow. Crazy. And then you recently, and I think it's been 2 weeks or 3 weeks, you went back to the Philippines, right? You do...
Yeah.
What's the language from the Philippines?
The official language in the Philippines is Tagalog. But there are a lot of dialects. Depending on the place that you live in.
Right.
But for me, since Tagalog is the main language of the Philippines, everybody learns it.
Yeah.
So I can speak Tagalog, and my main dialect is Visayas, since I'm originally from Dumaguete, which is like an hour away from Cebu. Yeah.
So it's so interesting that we're doing because all this stuff I had no idea about you, and this is the first time I'm learning. So you know, I
you learn about people every day.
Yeah, every day. And then so I'm not gonna remember that city, but
it's okay.
But it what was I gonna tell you? Yes, so you go, once a year more or less to the Philippines, right?
Not necessarily once a year, but we try to go as often as we can. The last time we went before this year was 2015. We went to go. It was the first time since we've come to the United States. It was our first time going back, so it was very
cool,
like a momentous moment for us because it has been a while. I think it was maybe like 7 years since we've gone back, so it was very interesting, and it was just a very self-indulging experience for not just myself, but I feel like for my entire family. So so the reason why we went back this year was because my cousin was getting married, so we had to attend and just meet the whole family once again.
And it was, I think it was the way you told me, it was a big deal.
It was a big deal,
and you said it was really nice as well.
Yeah, it was a big deal just because the fact that out of all the cousins that I do have and that I'm very close to, she was the first one to ever get married. So it was a very big deal, not just for us, but to them as well.
That's so cool. So, I feel like this podcast is coming really good because, you're talking a little about your life. And it all ties to this movie and the cultural aspects that and so I think this is awesome if we can tie it together like later when we were talking about the movie. But going back to your life and all that good stuff, and I lost track of what I was gonna say. Give me a second.
Well, let me just
sure.
Let me just kind of give your followers or your viewers or your listeners
I think listeners
listeners a reason why they should go check it out, Crazy Rich Asians, other than the fact that it's the first film that is all Asian cast for about 25 years now. It's very relatable. I mean, the only reason why it's a big deal to the Asian community is because it's an all Asian cast, and they haven't done that in American cinema in such a long time. But other than that, it's something that everyone can relate to. It deals with family, it deals with friendship, and it also deals with you finding yourself. Because I think everybody can relate to a situation where you put where you have to kind of deal with like the hardship that you go through, because everybody deals with hardship. But this film specifically, I feel like everybody can relate because it deals with like family and just finding your inner true self. No,
it was a really good message. So is it okay? So just backing up, if you don't mind, going back. So you were telling about how you gone to the Philippines a couple times, right? And you came here when you were 12.
I'm 25 now.
You're 25.
Yeah, I'm 25 now. Just put it out there.
So, you finished your bachelor's. When did you finish your bachelor's?
I recently
English,
just
right?
graduated, yeah.
Like on the spring, right? 2018?
Yeah, 2018.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, me too. I graduated as mechanical engineering on the spring. But I'm continuing my master's, I guess. And then we're leaving right now in the Bali. And what's it called? Oh, yeah. You were your plans, at least. You wanted to teach, right?
Yeah,
In Korea?
so my ideal plan is that, so since my major is in English and my main concentration is literature, I wanted to kind of like most educators, I think I just wanted to inspire and make a difference to like students' life. So what I wanted to do was teach internationally. Since I do consider myself as a traveler, or I like to think that I like to go travel, since I've been to a couple of countries that most people haven't really gone to. So I've been to South Korea, and I've been to Thailand, I've been to Singapore.
Holy cow, yeah.
And I've been to a handful of other countries as well. But the main reason I do those travels is because not only to meet other people, but to engulf myself in their culture and just kind of learn from the fascinating life. So that's why I wanted to do international teaching, because I wanted to just kind of incorporate their teaching ideals to the American ideals, because I feel like it's very different, like the teaching style and the teaching philosophies from an American based school and international based school, especially in Asia, since it's a very intricate educational system over there.
It's different, it's a different system.
Yeah, exactly. They pay more attention to their education. I'm not saying that in the American educational system they don't pay as much attention, but I'm saying that
they focus on different things.
Yeah, they have more. I think there's a hierarchy when it comes to like the focus in the government's like pay or whatever, or like the money, like when they like what they spend. Yeah, I think there's like a hierarchy when it comes to like the money they use. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Let me just check time really quick. No, like how much? Dude, it's been only 10 minutes, but that's interesting. So yeah, you wanted to work in South Korea, right?
Yeah,
for sure.
I was looking into working in South Korea.
Yeah. And you sent applications, and did you had interviews?
I had a couple of interviews,
nice,
but it wasn't like the ideal place that I wanted.
Okay.
So as of right now, I'm not doing that. I'm doing an online teaching thing.
Oh, okay, cool.
I'm teaching an online class that is based off in China. So I'm starting that next week, actually. Cool. But so this semester basically I'm just kind of like just kicking it, just trying to relax, just trying to like
so you'll stay here for the fall then?
Yeah, for the fall I'm gonna be here just doing that teaching online, and I wanted to see if I could do substitute teaching from the schools here, from the high schools here, so like the Edinburgh High School or like the McAllen area. But for sure next semester I want to go and do what I wanted to do.
You mean on the spring?
Yeah, on the spring I want to teach somewhere. But I'm thinking of either going to Thailand or South Korea, because I feel like Thailand, since I have relatives over there, it would be an easier transition for me. Yeah. I mean, I don't consider myself as an introvert. I feel like I'm a pretty outgoing person, so
for real.
Yeah, so I feel like I can make friends like easily, like no problem, because I mean like I've said before, I have traveled to different places, and so I do like meeting new people, and so I've been to the places that I want to work, so the culture wouldn't be really a shock to me, since I've already experienced a little bit of their culture when I did visit them. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
So I'm excited to what's to come. It's just a matter of doing it.
And just like in a lot of times, like, I talk about struggles because, from everybody, we all struggling with something, and it's not easy. Like, I thought I was gonna get a couple of jobs like this. Like I felt, and then I do have a good resume. Like I've worked hard and stuff, but it's not easy. It's not like you're gonna get it like this.
Yeah, especially since we're here in the valley where we're very limited when it comes to like jobs. Right. And especially with your specific field of study, I feel like you'll have a hard time finding a job here, just because it's not in demand as if you were going up north or
Right.
something like
So
that.
yeah, there's job limitations. You know,
for sure.
there's manufacturing jobs primarily here. You know,
Mhm.
like I said before, there's some in McAllen by the airport, and there's some in Brownsville.
Mhm.
And then if you want to cross the border, there's opportunities with lesser pay. You know,
In
and stuff like
Mexico.
that. Yeah. So, but yeah, so if I wanted to find something more towards my interest, like other opportunities, you know, a lot of it up north. So yeah, that is a limitation, and a lot of engineers do leave. But anyway, yeah. So we talked about your English major, right?
Mhm.
Oh, how did we meet? Right?
I don't know. How did we meet, Mitsuo?
I remember.
I feel like we had a common friend that kind of introduced us.
Yeah.
I think that's how we met.
Yeah. Can I expand more on that? Yeah.
Yeah, do you remember?
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. Go ahead.
You know, Giselle, like from the Korean club, right?
Yeah.
I met her. She came for tutoring. I was a tutor for mathematics, and then you know, we conversed a little just because, you know, she was interested about like I look different, and then you know, we started communicating, and then she invited me to one of the you know, events, or like when y'all hang out. So then we saw each other. And then I started hanging with everybody, and then I think exchanged numbers with yours, but there was multiple times that we hanged out.
Yeah, before then.
You know, tennis. I think it was tennis. We played
I think
tennis.
she had invited you to play tennis with us, and I think that's like kind of when it started.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
she at that time she was currently the president of one of the organization that that was kind of flourishing at that time at the university, which was
The Korean club.
Yeah, it was called the Korean Club at that time, but now they've changed it to the Korean International Social Syndicate. Yeah, so the acronym to it is KISS. So like KISS.
KISS.
So
Wow.
it stands for Korean International Social Syndicate,
Why did
which
it
is which is still active even as today.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me just talk about the whole thing about that club.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Okay, so what I guess the philosophy of the Korean International Social Syndicate Club is to kind of satisfy someone's need of watching Korean pop, Korean dramas, and the Korean culture. So if you're interested in those kind of things, or if you have an interest in K-pop, if you have an interest in K-dramas, and if you're interested in Korea itself, then I feel like you should go and check out the Korean International Social Syndicate at the university.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it would help you not just to make friends, but to kind of hone yourself in the magical world of Korea.
Magical world.
Magical world of Korea.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's very addictive. Like once you start listening to like the different genre of K-pop, or like the genre of Korean music, I feel like you'll get fascinated by it. Because it's very different from the music that we do listen here in America.
Yeah, for sure. I can tell I'm not a fan of K-pop, but I can see how intense it is. Like, so choreographed. They all look very nice. Variety of music.
Yes, they put a lot of effort and thought into their crafts, and so I feel like they should be highly recognized by that.
Yeah. You know, does the Korean organization explore food? Because I've tried Korean food. What is it? Korean Garden?
Yeah, so in the
good.
valley there's a handful of Korean restaurants that you could try. There's as of right now there's 3 that I know of.
Right.
There's one called Seoul House. Which one?
Seoul House?
Yeah, Seoul House is the one near my house.
Pecan, right? Or
Yeah, the one on Pecan.
Yeah.
And
I haven't tried that one. I've seen it from
it's pretty good.
It's small. Like
it's
not,
small, but I feel like most of the people here in the
Yeah.
valley knows that place, and so I
Yeah.
feel like it's a go-to place.
Yeah.
But there are 2 like other Korean
authentic,
places.
right? Authentic.
Yeah,
place.
it's semi-authentic. I mean, it's
Okay.
it's owned by a Korean person, so the food that they do make is Korean made or whatever. But since we're here in America, I feel like they've kind of catered to like the American taste, and so it's I mean, it's still Korean food, but it wouldn't be the same as if you got your food in Korea, you know?
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, but the other 2 places are the one on 10th Street, and it's called Korean Garden.
Yeah.
So I've been there a few times.
Me too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good as well.
Yeah.
And then the last one is called Nakwanjong.
Nakon.
Nakwanjong, which is also on Tensions, but all the way up north.
Okay. North, like past Trenton. Or before Trenton.
South or north? It's the one near the expressway. It's basically there.
Okay.
Yeah, that little plaza in Denny's or whatever. But it's on 10th Street. Yeah, it's on 10th Street.
Okay.
Yeah,
then that would be south because the expressway.
Yeah,
is
south. Yeah, my bad.
Towards
it's
like
South
the mall, right?
Yeah, towards the mall.
Yeah.
So it's called Nakwanjong, and it's right in front of the Korean grocery store,
It's
which
like
we do have.
but they're all like a little bit larger than $10, like per plate, something like that, right? Or
The
not.
thing about Nakwanjong for me is that they're very homey, like when it comes to their food. And
So you say that's the one's the best one?
I wouldn't say well, for my preference I prefer the Nakwanjong just because the owner is very friendly towards me, and whenever I would go she always recognizes me and she would just be like, here, have some dessert, or like have some fruits. Whenever she has fruits, she likes to like give it to her customers and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's just like when you're there, you just feel kind of homey, you know, like
nice.
you're in someone's house, like a
Dude,
Korean
you should
house.
go.
Yeah, it's actually really
Wow,
good, and it's
that's
cheap.
cool.
Like it's affordable, and it's really good. So y'all should check it out.
Do you remember the girl that I was talking to? Like, if she continues to talk, like, I don't think, I don't want to, like, give more details in public, but, if everything goes well...
You should take her there.
Yeah, for sure, dude. Because she's interested in, like, Korean, Asian culture.
Yeah, so...
Oh, no, specifically Korean culture. I was like, girl, Japanese culture, girl.
Yeah, I mean...
But she's like, nah, Korea, fam.
Yeah,
She's,
as
like,
of right now,
Korean and stuff.
the Korean culture, or, like, just because of the heavy influence of K-pop, I feel like it's increasing when it comes to like the popularity and like recognition when it comes to like.
And then Korean, it's in terms of Japanese and Korean, Korean is easier. At least it's phonetic like Japanese, so that makes it easy for Spanish speakers. And the second thing is that it's the written single Hangul. I think it's
Hangul, something like that.
Yeah, it's easier. It's really simple. Like it takes like 20 minutes to learn. I don't know. It's
so most Asian language, it's mostly composed of like characters, like you said, Hangul. So in Japanese, Chinese, and Korean, like the the most popular Asian countries, their alphabet consists of Hangul, which are characters.
Yeah.
But I feel like out of all the Asian language,
that's the easiest one.
The easiest one would be the Korean one, because they have very limited alphabet, and it's easier to like pronounce phonetically.
Right. I think there's a couple that are not in Spanish, like and which is like it's between E and O, and then E and U. Yeah. Or O and U or something like that.
There are in the Korean language, there are letters that American has that they don't. So like the pronunciation.
Well, I'm saying like in Spanish.
Yeah,
like
in Espanol.
In Espanol.
Yeah, but there are a certain letters that they don't have, or like the sound of certain letters that we do have here in America that they don't have. So
they're like L, right?
Yeah.
It's between. And there's no R.
There's
it's between R and L, right?
Yeah.
It's a combination of the two.
There are a few that are like that when it comes to like the Korean language.
Yeah. Interesting. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like Japanese language is more interesting than.
Thanks, bud. Dude, yes.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm a big fan of anime, so since I was small, I've been watching animes since I can remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, since I did grow up in Philippines, like anime is a big thing over there. So.
No way. I didn't know that in the Philippines it was a big
especially
thing.
I think in most Asian culture, or like in most Asian countries, anime is such a big thing.
No way.
Yeah, so I feel like most Asian.
Yeah, in Mexico, I think the thing that introduced me was Dragon Ball. We all loved it. Ranma and a half. Something like Nube, but it's like cloud or something like that. But there's a lot of shows, and I got hooked.
Yeah.
And then I started watching like on YouTube and stuff like that, and then I kind of stopped recently. Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I've seen a handful of animes when I was little, but the one anime that I do remember watching kind of vigorously was Chin-chan. I don't know if you know.
That little guy, dude.
That little guy.
I loved it. God. It was so funny.
I was obsessed with that anime. And then and then there was also like I can't name all of them, or like because I don't remember the title or like the name of the animes that I did watch back then when I was like super little when I was in the Philippines.
Right.
But I do remember watching like the very old school anime where it was very like it was like very like the animation itself was like sketch and stuff like that. The colored in was like very simple and not as not as extravagant as the animes now or whatever. Not as colorful and stuff like that. But those were like the golden days when it comes to like animes. But we do have really good animes now, but still.
Yeah,
you can never beat the classic.
Yeah, like at least I imagine that it's something that you grew up with.
Yeah.
Or something, and then those ones are like the ones that we remember.
More. And I'm just glad that.
Was really
and I'm just glad that since coming back or since coming here, I never got lost or like I never. Like the interest of watching anime never occurred to me, so I'm glad that I still watch anime even to this day.
Is there any other Asian organizations like that cater to anime or not? Well, there is, right? But
there's a Japanese club actually at the university.
Okay.
And they solely focus in animes as well, because I think their club is called the Anime Club, which solely like caters to anime lovers. So if you're an otaku, let's go. Otaku, yeah.
I don't know. I have no idea. Never mind.
Isn't it like a
it is.
Lover? Yeah. So if you're an otaku, if you enjoy watching animes, if you enjoy watching Japanese films and stuff like that, I highly recommend you check out the Japanese club or the anime club. At the university, because I feel like they can help you navigate through different animes that you could be interested, like that you haven't really explored. Because I mean, I know everybody has their preference when it comes to genres,
right?
But I feel like you're limiting yourself if you don't explore into other genres. If you're just specifically like watching, like for example, if you're just watching like harem, like for all the dudes out there who likes harem, you need to explore your palette and explore like supernatural. Go to the supernatural. Try some like
psychological.
I'm a very I very enjoy like supernatural, the mystery and stuff like that. So you should engulf in that. And damn, I'm forgetting my genre, man.
There was one that was really good. I think it was psychological and horror or something like that, but it was called Another. Like
dude, that
series,
anime like
it was good, right?
Like fucks you. Well, not really fucks you up, but it's a good anime when it comes to like it just makes you like wonder and makes you think.
So just like a super short plot. It's about a classroom where there's like a dead person. And then if they don't find that dead person, then everybody else will start dying because it's draining like their energy pretty much. And
so like the concept. So the concept of that anime is that there's this girl who's considered the dead person, which in reality she is like she's alive, but they have to like neglect someone, or they have to consider someone dead for them to stay alive, and they picked her just because she looked the part, because she wears like an eye patch because something had happened to her when she was little. So
they have to find out who's this dead person. And then I think they have to kill it. I don't know,
or something like that, or at least they just have to identify
it. When that dead person appears, fake memories in the classroom starts popping up into people's heads. So it's not quite obvious.
So it makes you really like think about like
you have to figure out who's that person. So everybody, like you're saying, like the eye patch girl, just because she's a weirdo,
just because she was isolated and just because she looked different than the rest of them, they isolated him and made her like the it was a she. They made her like the dead person when in reality it wasn't her.
It was.
Oh wait, no. In reality, I don't know if it was her or not, but you gotta watch the anime to find out.
Oh God, brother. I was listening to you right now, and I was like, "Yep, he's spoiling that."
I know, my bad. I'm sorry, but you just gotta check out to see the rest, because it's a very interesting.
Are you gonna spoil more stuff?
No, that's it. It's a very interesting anime, so y'all should check it out for sure.
Oh, okay, cool. Cool. So I understand, but you haven't had too much experience with the Japanese or the anime club, right?
I've only visited once.
Right, and then you have more experience with the Korean club, right?
Since I do go there once in a while, but I haven't been going the past semester because I've been super busy.
I feel you.
But I do stop by once in a while just to see how everyone is, and so I mean, like I've mentioned before, it is a flourishing club, so
Yeah.
I highly encourage anybody who's interested in the Korean culture or K-pop or whatever,
Right.
anything that deals with Korea.
Right.
I highly recommend you to check it out because
Yeah.
it's gonna hook you up. Like,
Yeah.
there are very interesting people
There's
there.
a lot of girls too, right?
Yeah, it's like TBH is mostly girls who are like into
Yeah.
like the music videos, who are into like the K-pop
Yeah.
and stuff like
if
that
you
in
wanna
general.
find girls that are interested in that stuff.
Yeah, so if you want to find girls that are interested
or
in that,
you're a girl that you're
yeah,
like,
if you're a girl and if you just want to find a place that
Yeah.
accepts your
In-
need of K-pop
Yeah.
dudes or whatever,
Yeah.
then that's your place. But no, in all seriousness, it's a very interesting club just because they really do put an effort into appreciating like the Korean culture, the Korean drama, the K-pop.
Yeah.
You know, they
girl.
highly like respect that kind of things, and so if you're one of those individuals who enjoy those
Right.
any of the Korean
Yeah.
culture or whatever, and then I would highly recommend you to go and check it out.
What I was gonna tell you. So okay, we talked about the Korean. You said there were a couple of other organizations that you knew.
Yeah, so since I'm Filipino, there's also an organization at the university called the Filipino Student Association.
Yeah.
So for short, it's FSA.
Yeah.
So what this organization does is they
dance
they
super
raise
good.
awareness. Not really. They don't raise
And they
awareness,
cook
but
food sometimes.
yeah. So I think they meet once a month, and every Tuesday of the beginning of the month, every Tuesday,
Yeah.
and they just kind of welcomes everybody who's interested in the Filipino culture.
Right.
If you're interested in dancing, you know, the Filipino Student Station is known to be the best dance group here at the university, since
Yeah.
you know they do practice a lot, they do
Right.
hone their skills and stuff like that, so
Yeah.
they do work hard to make sure that their craft is well managed and stuff.
Yeah.
So if you're interested in like dancing, if you're
Right.
interested in the Filipino culture, if you're in, and I mean in general,
Yeah.
if you're just interested in making like very interesting friends, very
Right.
like
Yeah.
very like easygoing people, then
Right.
I would highly recommend you to go check out the Filipino Student Association.
You know, and I would like to make the observation that, you know, the Philippines was conquered or was invaded or whatever by Spaniards.
Yeah.
So, you know, the Philippines, in some way, I feel like Filipino culture is similar to Mexican culture just because of the tie
Yeah.
of the Spaniards, right?
Yeah, so since
there is relation.
so since the
Not
Philippines,
the same, right?
it's
For
not
sure.
not necessarily the same, but since the Philippines was
Mostly,
like you
one
said,
thing, Catholics.
yeah,
you know?
once
A
you
lot of people are
like
Catholic.
you said, it was conquered by the Spaniards, and so some influences from the Spaniard culture was incorporated into our own culture because of the
Yeah.
fact that
Yeah.
we were invaded
Right.
or we were conquered by the Spaniards. But then after the Spaniards,
Yeah.
there were a few like Asian countries that conquered us as well, like
Oh,
the
okay.
Japanese and also the Chinese.
No way. I had no
Yeah,
idea.
and then so once the American kind of invaded or like kind of
Right.
brought peace into the Philippines or whatever.
Right. Quote unquote. That's what you
Yeah,
guys
so
did. Yeah.
so the Philippine, I would say, has like very has a lot of influences from different countries. Like
Oh,
the
okay.
American,
Right.
we do have their like they have heavy influence in the
Right.
Philippines, since we do have like a
Okay.
a troop in there, like a military troop in the
Oh,
Philippines.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so the American, the Spaniard, the Japanese, Chinese
Wow.
have a very heavy
Yeah.
influence when it comes to like the Filipino culture.
Right. So one thing I was gonna say, like, if you were Hispanic or something like that, I would say that, you know, Filipino culture, there is a small connection that you can find culturally between the two.
Yes, they're very.
Right.
There's a lot of similarities when it comes to like
Yeah.
the Mexican culture or like
Okay.
the Hispanic culture and the
Right.
Filipino culture.
Yeah.
Like there are certain words that are similar.
Yeah.
So like both countries or
right.
whatever.
Yeah.
And also like
Mm,
like you said, the religion. You know how.
Yeah, family. I feel like
Yeah.
one thing Mexican families is strong about family. Maybe
Yeah.
a lot of cultures are
Yeah,
like that, but
I mean,
Filipino
Yeah,
feel like
exactly.
it's,
Like
it's
I
all
feel
about
like
family too.
Yeah, that's why like I've said before,
Mm.
in most Asian countries, family is a big thing. That's why.
Yeah.
And I feel like in other countries as well, like Mexico or like even here
South
in America,
America. Oh,
or whatever,
America.
South America, they're very big in like family values and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
So, going back into the movie that we saw, The Crazy Rich Asians,
Okay.
it has very heavy influences when it comes to the family
Yeah.
like the family closeness and the
Yeah.
family bonding and the importance of family. So
Right.
if you're an individual who loves their family or likes the value of family and
Right.
stuff like that, I would definitely recommend you to go check out that movie. You know,
Yeah.
it's just recently got released.
Yeah.
You know, so go
Like-
support
yeah.
the a movie that is considered a movement as of right now.
For
So
real.
if you want to be a part of
Yeah.
the Asian American movement,
Yeah.
I would recommend you go watch it.
It is a good movie.
It's a very
Like I
monumental moment at the moment. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a very monumental moment because I
Yeah.
mean it's been a while since they've had an all Asian cast, and so
Yeah.
it's a big deal not to
said. And
just
it's not only like you're contributing to Asian culture, but it is a good movie. Like,
yeah,
I think that
because
you should-
this
you
will
should
spark
watch.
spark a movement to not just the Asian like the Asian culture, but to
Yeah.
like other
minorities.
minority cultures that hasn't been really represented in
Right.
Hollywood cinema. You
Yeah.
know, because
You know, and that's one thing that's cool. I think it sometimes could be done too much, but I think it's cool. You know, more movies about black people. There's more
Yeah.
movies about gay people.
Mhm.
You know, things like that. You know, and then
Yeah.
I'm not sure about feminism. There has been movies.
there
but
has
not,
been
like,
a few, but
not
not
rec-
like
recently.
not yeah for sure.
right.
But yeah, I think this movie itself is like a good representation of like
Yeah. Asian
um,
Americans or
I would say Asian Americans, but I mean it's a movement that kind of raise awareness to the
Right. Mhm.
to the
Well, you said
the
it.
Hollywood because you know how in Hollywood cinema we're used to seeing like the plots we're used to seeing it as like this
They represent like a caricature of.
yeah, like they have this stereotypical white
Right.
dude who's like powerful or whatever, and then there's
Yeah.
like damsel in distress,
Yeah.
you know, like
Right.
you know your typical cinema Hollywood. But I mean, this movie kind of represents not just. I mean, it is a romantic comedy, but other than that, it is like a family-oriented film, and so I feel
Mhm.
like that needs to be represented.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had a handful of
Yeah.
white quote unquote white film that is centered in family oriented topic, but
Right.
seeing it in a point of view of like the minorities, I feel like that's so impactful when it comes to
Yeah.
like the Hollywood cinema, because we
That's
haven't
cool.
been like, I feel like a lot of the minorities hasn't been really represented when it comes to like, you know, the big screen. So
got
I feel
you.
like this is like a movement that kind of
Yeah.
would like that starts off a conversation
Yeah.
so that the minorities can be
Right.
represented in any way.
One thing that we were conversing right after we watched the movie is that, you know, just being honest, that you know, even though I'm Japanese Mexican, you know, I feel more Mexican than Japanese, and
But I
so-
think that's because you
raised
grew up in Mexico.
Yeah, I grew up in Mexico and then I lived here. So, but just like a disclosure of like, I don't feel like a person that can opinionate about you know, like as an insider of Asian culture. So I can't say it from that angle, but for sure, from your angle, you know, you do feel like, you know, one of the things is that even though the Filipinos is also, because the movie is primarily Chinese, right? So but it does represent Asian culture in general, right?
Yeah,
and
because-
then it's relatively a big deal, at least for Asian Americans, right?
Yeah, I mean,
and
it
then
is a
there's
big deal
things-
from
yeah.
like, I think in Asian American perspective, it is a big deal just because the fact that it's an all Asian cast.
Yeah.
I mean, the movie itself centered. I
Yeah.
think it centered.
I only recognize the guy from Hangover. That's the only
Yeah.
Asian guy from Hangover.
Yeah, well,
But-
I'm just
yeah,
saying
you
that.
represent. Sorry, you
Yeah, it's
interrupted you.
supposed to be like since it was centered in a Chinese perspective,
Yeah.
because a lot of the Asian countries, the first ever Asian ethnicity or whatever was the Chinese. They were like one of the
yeah.
first ones.
Dude, yeah.
Yeah, so since it was supposed to be like a Chinese cast, but in reality they weren't all Chinese.
Oh, no,
you
they weren't
know?
all Chinese.
Yeah, they weren't all
I thought
Chinese.
they were all Chinese.
They were all Asians, but they
Right.
were like there's a misconception out there that if you're Asian, you're like Chinese, or like the main
Right.
three, Chinese, Japanese, or
Wait,
Korean.
no. The way I'm just defending myself. The way in the movie they all said they're Chinese. That they were
Yeah.
supposed to be Chinese.
Yeah,
but
there's-
in reality
they
you know,
weren't. Yeah, like
they're a
yeah,
mix.
they were supposed to portray like Chinese characters, you know, because
Mm.
they did speak Chinese and stuff. But in reality, the actors weren't all Chinese. They were all Asians, but they were all they weren't all Chinese. They
Gotcha.
were There are Vietnamese in there. The main girl, I think she's Vietnamese.
Yeah.
And then there are some Chinese. There are some Japanese. There's some Thai. There were Filipinos in there. Yeah.
People? Oh, let's represent.
Yeah. I think they. I think they made sure that all Asian countries were represented.
Cool.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? The one thing that you did say, that the word Chinese has been said a lot. If you're Asian, you're Chinese. And one thing that I liked about the United States when I came over is that people asked me, what type of Asian I was, like where I was from, and then they kind of remembered, like, part Japanese. Because in Mexico, everybody's Chinese, like China. They always say that. So I feel like, a lot of people say, it's racial or racist or something like that. But at least, how I lived it was just more ignorance than racist. And then it was just easier for them. So they just didn't care, And generally, it was true that most people were Chinese. But
I think,
anyway.
I think it happens to every Asian, where I think all Asians can relate to the point where I feel like someone has called you like, oh, you're Chinese, especially if you're
like they don't care too much about your culture,
because they automatically assume that you're Chinese just because of, like you said, of ignorance, because not a lot of people know that there are different countries in Asia. Asia is a continent, it's not just a country.
They look really dumb. Like people who can't.
Yeah,
really
I mean, you gotta differentiate, and you can't just be calling all Asians Chinese just because they're not. Like there are other ethnicities out there.
If you don't differentiate, you just look dumb.
Yeah, or at least
a lot of Asians.
At least ask. Just be like, I'm sorry, I don't know if this is appropriate, but are you Chinese by any chance? Or are you Japanese? Or are you Korean?
That's true.
But I feel like since in others' perspective, all Asians look the same, but in all seriousness, we do not look the same.
Well, sometimes I look at white people, and I'm like, oh, white people look, and then I look at Hispanics, and it's like, look, you know what I'm saying? Like, once you live within the culture, then you can differentiate white people, and because if you go to Europe, they all look kind of the same.
But I think it also depends on where you're at.
Yeah, because some people one might look at Brazilians, and then one might look at Colombianos, and then Argentinos.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, y'all look Latin American to me.
Yeah, Mexican.
But I think it goes around. If you were Asians too, and you're used to seeing all Asians and stuff, so you can differentiate all the Asian countries out there. But it'd be the same thing as if I saw a Brazilian, I saw a Costa Rican or whatever.
It's not the same, because sometimes, even in South American countries, some people are more, no, dude, I'm Venezuelan. I don't know necessarily, but I'm Venezuelan, I'm from Venezuela. No, I'm from Honduras.
Yeah.
Or I'm Cuban. But some people are like, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But it's the same in Asian countries, some people are like, dude, you just call me Chinese. I'm not Chinese. Because I do know that Japan has conflict with, or had conflict with China and Korea.
China and
so then sometimes confusing them is a problem.
Kind of an insult to them. But I feel like it goes with everybody. I feel like if you assume someone's race or whatever, I feel like that's an insult to that person, because most of the time. But when it comes to the Asian culture, I feel like since from a long time ago, they're used to being called Chinese or whatever.
Right.
So it gets old, there's not only just Chinese out here, there are other Asian countries that you could know.
Yeah. And in fact, being here, there's not only Chinese, there's a lot of Koreans and Filipinos I've seen here. And then a couple Vietnamese, and so it's at least here in the valley there is not only Chinese. In Mexico, I would say there are more Chinese.
I feel like in Mexico there are a lot of Japanese.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would
feel
assume.
in the border there's not a lot of Japanese.
You don't
in the
think
border there are Japanese, and then I feel like there's a lot of Koreans too. Not there used to not be as many Koreans, but there's been an increase in Koreans in Mexico. In Monterrey, the big city. There's more Koreans there. And then my dad just he's renting a house, and then he had a Korean, and he had a Japanese person, but Korean and Japanese, and then I don't know Chinese, but they're having more of those ones. But in general, in Mexico, I don't think there's a lot of Japanese people, and it's just more about the culture, right? Japanese people are more reserved. They don't get out too
Yeah. You know what I noticed, like
What's up?
so like I've mentioned before, the movie Crazy Rich Asians. So it's a very monumental movie just because of the fact that, I've said this three or five times, but
20.
I'm gonna say it again.
21.
That it's the first in 25 years to have an all Asian cast.
Yeah.
What I noticed when I went to go watch the movie was that there wasn't. I think I was the only Asian, or like when we watched it, we were the only two Asians that were there to go and support. And the reason why I noticed it was because for the profile that it does have, like this movie is supposed to be like a movement, and you know what saddens me is the fact that I only saw two Asians that did watch it, and then when I watched it again yesterday, I was the only Asian that watched it.
Yeah.
So like put into consideration the city that we're currently living in. I mean, I understand, but since we do live in the valley, there's a lot of there's a lot of Mexican or Hispanics just because we're near the border.
Yeah.
And it just saddens me to think that there's not a lot of Asian representations here. And then just the fact that when I went to go watch it, I mean, probably because I watch it super late, but still like seeing not seeing any Asian.
Well, there's not only that, but I would say in the angle of conversation, like there isn't a conversation in the valley about Asian representation, even though, because I would argue that there is a small number of Asians. So you wouldn't see a lot of small Asian, but to me, like when we went, there wasn't a lot of people watching the movie.
Yeah, there wasn't.
That's the thing that I say would be nice if it could be changed, because Asian culture is quite interesting. You learn it, and so just only having Hispanic culture here in the valley can be boring.
Yeah,
I'd say, because more diversity, more types of food, and like you said, like, if somebody hasn't tried it, I think Korean food is really good.
Yeah. I mean, not just Korean food. You should try Thai food as well. Thai food is bomb.
Yeah.
And also Vietnamese food. Like all Asian.
Vietnamese pho. Is super good too.
Yeah, all Asian
and then ramen,
food is good. So yeah. We have a handful of those. So if you're interested in the Asian culture, you should definitely check out like Asian restaurants that are here in the valley. Right. So at least you'll be able to taste a somewhat a taste of like the Asian culture's food or whatever.
For real. Yeah. So like I totally agree with you that even though I say like, well, one, maybe more Asians should have gone, but I feel like probably they did go, but there's not that much.
Yeah,
but I would say what's up with the people here? Like, they should be more interested.
But I mean, other than the fact that I didn't see any Asians, I was glad to see some other like ethnicity that did go, like other race. Like there were a handful of Mexican that went, and they thoroughly enjoyed the movie. So see, like I've said, it's not just it's not just catered to Asian Americans. It's catered to everybody because it's a very relatable film.
Right.
It just so happened that it was based on like an Asian character.
Right.
It just like it was just all Asian characters.
And right now, Hispanics are the majority in the valley, but just go move a little bit north, and
then you'll see more Asians.
Your story will be similar.
Yeah, it's a bit different. But I mean, I'm just glad that the Asian community here in the valley is growing. So I'm just glad that more Asian.
Definitely, yeah. That's how it feels.
Yeah, more Asians are migrating here. So I'm just happy about that because we do need Asian representation here.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool, dude. Oh, I feel like we covered Crazy Rich Asians too, yeah.
Yeah, because I really do want people to go watch it. just not only to support like the Asian American community, but it's an actually really good film. Didn't you enjoy it?
Yeah, it was really good.
See, like for someone like in my perspective, since I do carry some Asian culture like within me, like I still do practice my Filipino culture. And there were moments in the film where I was able to relate because I did experience, or not experience, but I could relate in a way where, like in our culture, it's the same.
Yeah, you said a part of the film that I don't think this is a spoiler. Mm-hmm. They play like a board game, it looks like dominoes.
It's not really a board game. It's more of like a tile game. It's called mahjong. So
yeah, right. But like dominoes.
Domino, yeah, but
better and like
it's more. Yeah, it's more intricate, I would say. It's more like decisive. I don't know, like.
Well, but my point was that I had no idea about that game. I haven't even heard about that one.
Yeah.
You said that when you were young. Your
my parents
would played it.
So it's so mahjong is the traditional game in Chinese culture. So
right.
I mean, I don't know the whole entirety of the game.
Right.
I do know how to play.
That you didn't identify it.
Yeah,
but you like.
Yeah, I do know how to play since my parents.
You knew what was going on. I had no idea they were playing that game. I was like, what does it mean? I have no idea.
So
you
my parents, or especially my mom, plays a lot. When we were back in the Philippines, my aunt, like all of my aunties, my grandmother, my lolos, they all play that game because it's embedded in our culture, or at least in my mom's side.
Right.
So whenever we would go to the Philippines, they would constantly play that. And then so that's how I learned to play, because my mom, like my relative, like my mom, my cousins, my aunts, and my lolas, my lolos, they would play it constantly. Right. So that's how I learned. So that's how I got familiar with that game. But since we live in the valley, we don't have that here.
Yeah, for real. You know, and I feel like knowledgeable of like Asian culture generally, but yeah, that took me by surprise. And you were looking at me, right? You know that game, and I was like, no. But the one that I do know is Go. Like I know that game.
The white and black tile.
Yeah.
Oh no, like they're mostly stones. Right?
Yeah,
they're stones. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, see, I don't know any of that game, but I do know what it is. I just don't know how like the game process itself.
Yeah. So and then when I was watching the movie, there was so much new things. Like one, I saw a lot of artists that I didn't identify, but I felt like they were quite good. Aling, like one of the characters in the movie. I thought she was really good, and then you said that she was your favorite character, and I was like, oh, you identified a lot of the artists. Yeah. And, you know, they were all pretty good. So
yeah,
you know,
they were all, like
I felt like it was a good introduction to, you know, Asian culture in itself.
Yeah, they mostly played, like, Chinese music.
Yeah, and then they also, you know, Chinese music. And then I think
like,
it was it was filmed in Singapore. So
it was filmed in Singapore.
Because they were rich, they were in the city. They took a lot of shots of like around.
Oh, like it was
location.
Like a good introduction of the country Singapore.
Right. And so it was very interesting. It was very fascinating. So it was very nice.
Yeah.
And after watching the movie, I felt like I had a lot more to learn. Like I felt like I was, because of my Japanese background and I had read and stuff, I felt like, no, I'm good enough. But after watching that movie, I was like, well, at least Chinese culture I'm missing a little.
Yeah.
For sure.
But I mean, like you've mentioned before, like you did grow up in Mexico.
Yeah.
Like, and I think I talked to you about it, like after we watched the film. I had asked you how does it feel to be Asian American and not be like kind of rooted within your culture.
Yeah.
How does it feel for someone who's Asian American but doesn't really practice your Japanese culture?
Yeah, well, I mean, I just feel like I'm Mexican, or like I said.
So if someone were to ask you,
I don't find an identity on the Japanese side. Yeah, I only find like
you just look cool. Japanese.
Yeah, like I look at another Asian person, and I'm like, hey, what's up? I want to talk to you. That's what I feel. You know, the other thing is I feel a connection with my own family. Yeah, and that's it. That's the truth. And then the third thing is like I like Japanese culture. Yeah, I enjoy Japanese culture, and I want to get more inside of that. But I don't feel like I am Japanese. You know,
just because you were raised Mexican.
Right. Exactly. And then not exactly Mexican, I would say, because, you know, I feel like my dad was very different. Like, I met a lot of people from, you know, the Valley, from Mexico, and the culture is a little bit different. Yeah. To how my dad is. You know, my dad is quite distinctive in his behaviors, and I feel like he passed me some of his behaviors and to me. And so I imagine that, you know, some of it is Japanese culture. Yeah. You know, he is relatively quiet person. His dad was relatively quiet. You know, his friendliness, I don't know if or his politeness, he's really polite. I'm also polite.
Very polite.
What else? He's very hardworking. His dad was very hardworking. The same, you know, the same way. Interest to detail, like
so you think you're very hardworking?
No, like for sure, like I'm less hardworking, I'm less clean, like, you know. But
I mean, we can't get we can't get our parents, we can't get all of our parents to.
Right, but I'm just saying a couple of the things that I do feel like are Asian, because when I was in Japan, everybody's super clean, everybody's super hardworking, everybody's super quiet, and everybody's super polite. And my dad had all those qualities, you know, and so I do feel like I adopted some of them. And then, or it's on my mind, you know, present, and then that I don't see around it manifests in a different way of hard work. Hard work, you do it, here because of love of your family, or you do it for, because of yourself. But in Japanese culture, just you work hard because it's the right thing to do. Like I don't know, something like it feels like honor. Yeah. Like a good person works hard, because of work. Yeah. You work because it's good. Yeah. Yeah. And so that's kind of the angle that I feel. But yeah.
Okay.
Anyway.
Speaking of, you said that you work because of work, right? That's what you said.
That's pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
because I feel like Mexicans are in Mexico, like you work so that you can provide for your family and you can enjoy life. Like I feel like Mexicans, it's about enjoying life and having not having party, but family. Like that's the main thing.
Yeah, I think going back into the movie, that's like one of the highlights of the film is that it comes back to family. Like they do everything for so one of the controversial parts in the movie, I don't want to spoil anybody or whatever, but one of the controversial part in the movie was that the mom didn't
be more general.
Yeah, okay, so the mom didn't agree or didn't approve of the main character because not only was she Chinese American, it was solely the fact that she valued her happiness more than family's happiness. But considering that she and her mom moved to the States, just the two of them, like she can't really value family just because she doesn't have a big family, unlike the other main character, the dude who has a big family, whose aspiration is to make the family happy and to make sure that so she can't really relate because it was just her and her mom.
Right.
So that was one of the highlights of the film. And going back into what you were saying, that I feel like it's the same when it comes to the Asian culture and the Mexican culture, because they do everything for their family.
Yeah.
So it's like they put their family's happiness first than themselves. Yeah. I feel like that's how it is in Asian culture.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
And I feel like that's what you had said. So
yeah, so yeah, that's for sure. So,
but I can't speak to all Asian cultures. I can speak for the Filipino culture, but I don't think. But I feel like most Asian cultures are the same when it comes to family values and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah. We're just gonna say. So, it's 55 minutes. We're almost done. So just a couple more.
Wow, that went by quick.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it went quick. What was I gonna tell you? So a little bit more about organizations at the university, but also I wanted to make some observations about Korean and Filipino culture. And Koreans look super nice. Like the Koreans, that I can spot them because they dress differently, and because
I think it's good. I think it's due to the fact that in Korean culture they're very they focus more on physical appearance.
Right.
That's their standard is their standard of beauty is intense.
Yeah.
Like plastic surgery there is an everyday thing.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal to them. It's also highlighted in the movie as well. There's a part, I don't want to spoil anything, but there's a part in the film that talks about plastic surgery. And then but in Korean culture itself, it's very
common.
Yeah, it's not even a big deal to them because it happens every day. Everybody gets I wouldn't say everybody, but most of the people.
Also, it's small surgeries too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. Never mind.
Well, some small minor surgeries, and there are some that are major surgeries.
Right. Eyelid, nose, and then the chin or the
jawline, shaving of the jawline, stuff like that.
And then
I
would imagine boobs would be a bigger thing.
They do boob implants there, butt implants, everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Korean culture or the Korean beauty standard is very different from the American beauty standard. That's why when you see Korean individuals who had influences from Korea, you would think that because their standard of beauty is so different from ours, you would assume that they would look nice or they would dress nicely, and which is probably true because they do have a very interesting style when it comes to style and stuff like that. But I feel like in most Asian countries it's like that.
Yeah. So
in general, what I'm saying is that all Asians look good. Well, or try to dress look good.
Oh, okay. Well, that's actually, at least for the Filipinos that I've seen, and for the Filipino organization, one of the things is that generally most of them dress nice. You dress very nice.
Thank you. I did try.
Yeah, so you buy online clothes and then you try them and then it looks different. You know, it's always a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
Like you take care. It looks like you take care of your skin.
I do try. I do try to take care of my skin. Yeah.
And right. So Filipinos too, and I met like one Chinese person that he dressed really well as well, and then the Vietnamese friend that I have. Penelope, you know, she works on herself as well. Now, like I met other Vietnamese people and Chinese people that they're not as concerned as much, but I just observed it more for the Filipinos and the Koreans, like you know, in my experience so far. And Japanese, I would say that Japanese not too much. I think the girls, like the Japanese girl, do kind of dress.
They
but
do.
I think they go more toward because I think Koreans are sexy. And the Filipinos, they also go for cool, sexy, but you know, Japanese women a little bit more towards the cute side,
cute and comfortable side.
Cute, yeah, cute and comfortable.
I mean, I think when it comes to like style and when it comes to like appearance, I feel like most Asian countries do try to look good just because appearance is everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that we're all self-involved, you know, because we're not.
Yeah.
We're just
family.
We're just trying to like look good, you know, because
I
feel like appearance is everything. The first impression you get from someone is the way they look.
Okay,
when you
I'm
meet
not gonna
someone,
say everything, but it's a significant part.
Yeah, but
sure.
once when you meet someone, what do you you see instantly?
Yeah,
the way they look. That's like what you judge them first. And until you like get to know them, what you notice first is their physical aspect, like their facial attributes, and then the way they dress. That's what you notice first.
Yeah.
Until you like talk to them, like you get to know them, their personality and stuff.
And I also think like you can know somebody's personal an aspect of it through their appearance. It's not everything. Yeah. You see an aspect of them, like they're interested to take care of themselves. You know, they work hard. Like they put an effort to it. They care about other people.
Yeah.
You know. And so there is, you know, part of it you have to care about what other people think in some manner, but in others, not too much. And it's that balance, right?
Yeah.
And it's not, you know, Mexican culture, American culture, you know, they're right ones and Asian culture is wrong. No, it's just Asian culture, you know, they have that perspective a little bit more concerned about our experience. And then Mexican culture might not care as much, but might, you know, it's just a focus in different, but we all connecting that
true.
It is relevant. It's just in different levels, I would say. Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, like you said, it's very different when it comes to like the different cultures that we did grow up into. Like like I feel like in American culture, I mean, I feel like everybody cares about appearance. Yeah, it's just a matter of how comfortable you are to dressing up. Yeah, because like when I was in high school, I didn't really dress up as well as I do now, because at that time I didn't really care. Yeah, you know. And now, I mean, I don't care what anybody thinks. I just like to look good for myself. Yeah, because I don't know, I just like feeling like when you look good outside, you feel good inside. Yeah, that's what I think. That's like, you know, that's why I feel like most, like what I've noticed, most Asian American individuals that do try to look good, I feel like that's the reason why they try to look good. Not only for like the physical aspect of it, it's just to be physically, mentally, and psychologically be okay. That's what I think, because that's how I feel. Okay. So I can't speak for everybody that does try to look good, like especially the Asian American community, but for myself, that's how I think.
And the other thing that I do observe is, you know, aside from, you know, trying to dress well and, you know, it's the other side of you're really good at a lot of stuff. Like
I mean, I did try.
You do try.
I did try.
So you're really good at like a lot of games, you know. Okay, yeah.
I'm really bad. I'm really good when it comes.
When
it comes to video games. Right. I'm not as good as my brothers.
Well, it's because it's not the thing that you have to be good at everything. It's that you're just good at a lot of things. You know?
mean, not really.
Right. Well, anyway, but it's not necessarily I'm talking directly about you, or I am complimenting a little bit. Yeah. But it's to like, a lot of Filipinos work really hard. Like a lot of Filipinos.
Oh yeah, because that's how we were brought up.
Yeah,
like, we were brought up thinking that
they work hard.
Yeah, if you don't work hard, you're never gonna amount to anything.
But I think that's super. Well, that's right. It's difficult.
But that's how we.
It's harsh. It's harsher. Yeah. But one of the cool things that I admire is that generally most Filipinos that I've seen work pretty hard, and it's amazing. And
because our parents are strict. Okay, I'm kidding. I'm kidding, but that's how like, especially living in a country or in a third world country, which is the Philippines. Like Philippines is considered a third world country, especially if you grew up there. Like there's these beliefs and there's this aspiration and there's this expectation that's embedded in your mind that you're supposed to be successful, especially if you come to America. There's this underlying expectation of you successing just because you're here in America, but that's not necessarily like true. Like everybody can't succeed. You have to put effort into succeeding.
Right. And well, in my experience, you know, a lot of international students from Mexico, they come here and it's harder to find jobs. So a lot of people that come here, they put a lot of effort. So it's also, you know, the idea that a lot of people that come here, you know, they don't have it as easy, so they have to work harder. And so that could be the other aspects that from
I feel like
because you are international or no?
Oh no,
okay, US.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I'm a US citizen. I don't think I'm considered international since I live here. International would be like you just studying here, or like you're studying here. But anywho, I think when it comes to like the different Asian cultures, especially if you were brought up here and if you grew up here, it's very different because you feel like you're. I mean, I'm not saying that you're entitled, but I feel like since you grew up in America, you feel entitled. That. Yeah, you feel like everything is like supposed to be handed down to you.
In Mexico, you know, the government doesn't give you anything.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know, you work 48 hours. Like that's expected.
Yeah.
And then here you work 40 hours, and then you get food stamps.
Yeah.
And then minimum job is enough to have a comfortable lifestyle.
Yeah.
While in Mexico, you have
to work hard for everything.
Work hard, and then you barely get anything.
Yeah, that's why.
So, that's why I totally agree that there's no entitlement. Yeah.
Well, I feel like not only in the Asian American, I feel like anybody who was born and raised here,
right?
You feel entitled.
Yeah, they don't know.
They don't. You don't know like the hardship of someone who moved here, like from other countries.
You know, I hear from my friends from Mexico that they travel. Like people are getting kidnapped, people are getting killed. Yeah. Like it's not comfortable to talk about it, but that's what's going on, right?
Yeah.
Not only it happens, it's happening.
It's
literally fucking happening right now. Like people.
I feel like we're like a lot of Americans. Like, everybody, like most people in America are so ignorant to the fact that that there are like tragic happenings in every like other countries, not just like Mexico, but like in Iraq or anywhere where there's like war or like gangs that are happening, because we're not aware. We're I feel like we're very ignorant people. I mean, I'm including myself because I'm not politically inclined. I don't really know like
what's going on over
there. Like I have like I have like an idea of what's going on, but I'm not fully like aware, you know? So I feel like we need to be aware of not just like with our surroundings, you know, here in America, but to the other countries that needs help, because there are a lot of countries that do need help.
Yeah, like at least in Venezuela with that president, I forgot his name, but we have two Venezuelans that I know. One, she does research and she's like undergrad in mechanical engineering, and then the other person is a professor in the mechanical engineering department doing research as a postgrad, I think. And then they both, I think some of them have, so the postgrad has their family in Mexico, but the undergrad, I haven't talked to her directly, but I think she does have family in Venezuela. So yeah, like it's not ideal.
I feel like we just need to be appreciative of what we do have and work hard for the goals that we do have in life, because at the end of the day, you know, you gotta work hard for yourself. I mean, you work hard for yourself and for your family. You know, you can't succeed without no effort.
I think we're almost going towards the end. I think 10 more minutes. But yeah, we touched everything.
That's
right,
good.
Right. And I always I wanted to include the aspect of struggle. I always try to put it out there because a lot of people think, you know, that because I feel like I'm gonna do good in my future, and I feel like the people that I talk to, I feel like they're going to do. But right now we're struggling. Like we don't got anything, and so
especially since we just graduated, like I feel like it's so hard to find jobs, especially in an economy where it's like
it's getting tougher. It is getting tougher.
It's getting very competitive when it comes to like job hunting and stuff like that. So it's very hard, especially for recent graduate students who are in debt already just because of loans and stuff like that. And you can't even find a job because like you can't find a decent job. Like why are you gonna accept a job that pays $7.25 when you have
Minimum,
a degree?
For sure, exactly.
You know, so it's very hard for graduate students or like recently graduated students to find like a decent job. You gotta start from the bottom, and you know, because that's just how it is.
No, it's not easy.
It's not.
But like I was saying, I feel like we're gonna make it, but a lot of people, you know, I've seen it that they just
give up.
You hear about Elon Musk and you have Bill Gates, and you don't hear, you know, all the struggle. You only see the success. And so,
but you can't get to success without any struggle.
Right, that's true.
Not like, it might happen, but in reality, you can't just make something happen in one try. You gotta try. Like a lot. Do you think Bill Gates developed Microsoft in one try? No.
No. But I mean, a little bit of the show, like all of them.
They tried. They failed. They tried again, and then they failed again. They try again.
Exactly.
You know.
But back to it again. Like I had hard times where, you know, I kind of gave up and I was just going through the motions because I was tired and I didn't see the light of things. And I feel like I will succeed. And part of succeeding is having that hope, you know, and then I feel like a lot of successful people, or in general, it's not something that we talk about. But I think it's important to constantly sort of get inspired, because I feel like at least in this area, there's a lot of people, uninspired people. And then that's what they need. I'm not saying that, you know, if you're inspired and you work hard, that you're gonna get everything you want. I'm just saying that you can get some things, and then you can make something of yourself. And then you're like, say with the job, like maybe you struggle. So this other girl, she's doing nursing, and she couldn't pass her classes one semester. And then, you know, it's not easy. Like everybody's struggling.
The nursing program at our school is hard.
For real.
But like I feel like this is very universal. I think there are parts in our life where we reach like a certain like time when we just want to give up, because everything that we do like doesn't really add up to anything, or everything that we try to do something and we just never succeed. But this is what you got to think about it. Okay, so you can't have anything in life, for sure. You can't have everything that you want, but as long as you like try hard and like give it your best, at least at the end of the day you're like, okay, at least I gave it my best. And you don't have to wonder of like the what ifs, like, oh, what if I tried harder, you know, because at the end of the day it's not just your happiness, but it's like, you know, like I mean, your happiness does matter, but you know what happened, like for example, there's a lot of people here that does a job just because they can do it, and that's not really their passion. And I'm not saying, I'm not like bad mouthing people who does like jobs that they're not really passionate about, because I feel like most of the people in America, or most people everywhere that's doing like that has a job, is not like their passion, but it's just because it's
like sometimes they need to.
They need to, and it's easy, or it's like comfortable for them. But I mean, if you don't aspire to be the person that you want to be, like, did you really live your life? Like, did you really like enjoy the life that you have? Because at the end of the day, we do have one life, you know. I mean, I'm not trying to be cliche, but you only do live once, and if you don't live your life to the fullest, like what are you doing with your life really? Because I mean, like for myself, when I got into the university, I started my university years doing my nursing requirements, but then later on that, like,
you told me, I forgot.
Later on that journey, I decided that wasn't my passion. It was just because
your parents,
it wasn't like my parents weren't saying that, oh, you need to be a nurse and blah blah blah, but there was like an implication when it comes to like Filipino culture that you need to be in the medical field, especially if you're here in America, just because most Asians and most Filipinos are in the medical field. And so I was kind of not necessarily forced, but I was kind of like, there was like
the pressure,
like the pressure of like you need to be a nurse just because you're Filipino. But then I thought about it, I was like, okay, I don't need to be a nurse just because I'm Filipino. I can be whoever I want to be. This is my life. No one can dictate my life other than myself. So I changed my major, and I mean, to be honest, I don't even really know what I want to do with my life yet.
Yeah.
You know, because we're still young. Like, we don't really know what we want until we've actually experienced a lot of like stuff.
Yeah.
And so as of right now, what I think that I want to do with my life is to inspire people and to make a difference in like students' life, because that's what I'm going into.
Yeah.
So to anybody who's struggling out there, I just want you to know that you're not alone. Everybody has a struggle in any shape or form.
Yeah.
Just keep going at it. Never give up. Persevere. Perseverance is the key to success. And it
is cliche for sure.
Yeah, it is. It's the truth. It's the truth.
Yeah. It is cliche because it is true.
I just at the end of the day, I just want you to be happy and be content with your life, because it is your life. You don't need to cater to anybody. So if anybody's forcing you to do a job, or anybody's forcing you to do something, let that tell yourself that no, this is not me. I don't want to do this, or at least be happy and be proud of what you're doing.
Yeah, and it's like you know what they say. You know, it's more easily said than done, because it's simple but it's hard.
It's easy. It is easy to say, but it's hard to put it in action, because it's your life. You can't just neglect, or like, for example, if you're living or if you're working like a really high paying job, you can't just neglect that, because we do have to pay bills and stuff
too. You
know, because like I feel like most Americans or most people give up their aspirations and their dreams because of the hardship that they might have to go through pursuing that dream or whatever. Like myself, when I was growing up, I wanted to be a singer and stuff like that, but there's no way that's gonna happen, you know, because not everybody can succeed in that kind of environment or that kind of like platform. So but I feel like everybody wants to be like someone. Like, I feel like in everyday life, everybody just wants to be looked up to. Like, everybody wants to be someone's role model. Because at the end of the day, I feel like everybody wants to be like acknowledged, and wants to be like, just wants to make sure that they've at least make a difference, because like when you die, like what are you gonna leave to like the people that does remember you or something?
And for what you've been saying, you know,
damn, this is getting deep.
That's I make them, you know, I work it. So no, for sure, like I always, you know, I feel like you're quite a distinct person, cool person, nice person, well dressed in a person, and you know, you make an effort. You know, you're really good at a lot of things. You have experiences. You have like good dreams. And then you not succeed all the time, or like let's say the job opportunity didn't come yet, but you're like, I'm not giving up. I'll try next semester. What can I do? You know, and that's like the spirit. You know, you're a positive person. You have energy, and I think it's something that it's really good. You know, and then I feel like that's why that I see, and that I feel like, you know, will put you somewhere. You know, and I'm like, ooh, let me get in there before he gets famous. That's what I say too. Like a lot of people that I want to do the podcast. It's like, I feel like they're gonna do something with their life, and I just want to catch them before they start charging me.
No, but I mean, like,
for real. But yeah, it's just complimenting you.
Thank you. But I feel like everybody just needs to think of like their own happiness and like what they can do to the, like, not the environment, but to the society, like to the common good. Because I feel like at the end of the day, we need to care about each other, because the earth is dying, like, TBH.
Okay.
We don't have a lot of years here. I'm kidding. Like, no, but in all seriousness though, like I want y'all to follow your dreams, and I don't just want you to like go with the flow. I want you to engrave and make your own path. Because I feel like that's how you can like be happy with yourself, and you know, like, just don't succumb into like the society's expectation of yourself or whatever. Make your own path, like make your own difference, make a difference in the world.
Okay, so it's been an hour and 17 minutes. Okay. We have to conclude it. So
conclusion.
Oh, what?
Wait, okay, go.
No, I was gonna. Well, if you wanna say that conclusion, but we only talked about 3 organizations.
Yeah,
so I don't know.
because those are the only ones that I'm familiar with. But there are other organizations at the universities.
So the ones that we talked about was the Filipino.
The FSA, the Filipino Student Association.
By the way, you can go find them on B-Link.
Yeah, B-Link.
Or you can also find them on Facebook, right?
Yeah,
some of them.
Yeah, you can find them on Facebook, or you can just Google the title or like their organization name and then just put UTRGV and I'm sure you can find it.
Right, so it's a Filipino...
The FSA, the Filipino Student Association, the Korean International Social Syndicate, also known as KISS, and the Anime Club or the Japanese Club. Yeah. And then there's another Asian culture that I do know, but I'm not really familiar with because I haven't really visited, but I do know people that are a part of the club, which is the Chinese Club.
Mm. Oh, no way.
Yeah, so go check that out too. It's also called Chinese Club or something like that.
Cool.
It's just Chinese Club or something like that.
Yeah, and if I'm not lazy,
you should go check it out.
All the links like at the description, man. If they're not there, it's because I'm lazy.
Yeah, but definitely check it out if you're interested in the Chinese culture because they do have some events that they do try to happen. Like they're very involved. Let's just say the Chinese Club.
Okay. So that also that. You did say that maybe not Facebook, but Instagram, right? So what's your Instagram?
So if you guys want to follow me on my Instagram, it's JULCHRIST25. It's JewelChrist25. That's my Instagram tag.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you guys do want to follow me, that's how you can follow me. It's a public platform.
For sure, I know that you have like badass pictures of yourself.
Not really.
Dressing well.
It might seem self-involved because I do have pictures of myself, but that's just to let my followers know that I'm confident and I'm happy with myself, you know. And I feel like if you don't feel that way, like
I don't think you're full of yourself. Like in those pictures, I don't think.
Oh, thank you. I feel like I'm a pretty down-to-earth person, but
yeah, you are.
Most of my pictures are of myself, so be ready.
But do you have pictures of you traveling or not?
Yeah, I do have a few. Yeah, I do have a handful of pictures of my travels. Yeah. So definitely check that out. If you guys are interested, follow me at JewelChrist25. JULCHRIST25.
Okay, we promoted all of them. So you wanted to say the conclusion?
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to conclude with like we've already mentioned the clubs that we've talked about. So it was the Korean International Syndicate, Korean International Social Syndicate, the Filipino Student Association, the Japanese or Manga Association, and the Chinese Club. And just to like finish it all off with everything, I just wanted to advertise again on the movie.
That's true.
I just wanted to make sure that everybody go watch it. Okay, support a movement. Okay, support a movement that is sparking controversial topic. When it comes to minorities, because we need social representation. So go watch Crazy Rich Asians, directed by I don't know who directed it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, bro.
Some and then so I want you guys to go support it. It's a very relatable film. It's a rom-com, and I feel like everybody who values their family and has like a very strong relationship with their loved ones can enjoy a very like down-to-earth film. So go check it out and just support the film and support the movement.
And it is a good movie.
It is a very good movie. I've seen it twice, so that should tell you something.
Yeah, for real. Cool. So because you just said that, like I guess I'm gonna have to publish it today. Because like most of the time it take a while. So I'll publish it today. Yeah. Today's Wednesday, right? Is it okay? Wednesday. Is it okay if I publish it tomorrow?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. You're gonna be podcast number 4. Yeah.
What?
The podcast.
You'll
be number 4.
I'm honored to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome.
I'm glad to be able to like advertise the Asian communities here in the Valley because we do have we have very small representation and we rarely get to like advertise any like Asian related thing because we're such a minority here, especially since we live in the Valley. Are you gonna be sharing
the podcast with your friends and stuff?
Maybe if you send it to me, I'll share it.
Definitely send it to you.
Yeah, so
that's how it gets published. Like that's how people get to know it.
Yeah, for sure. So definitely check it out. Check out the movie, guys. I really want you guys to go enjoy it. It's a very good movie, and I feel like you guys would enjoy it.
Do you wanna grab some lunch or what? Or are you busy?
Depends on where.
Anywhere. I'm just saying. Do you wanna grab some lunch?
Yeah.
You down? Yeah.
Or you wanna cook?
Dude, I don't wanna cook. I don't wanna cook.
I can cook.
You wanna cook?
House, yeah. I have some stuff.
Dude, yeah. Let's go. Okay. All right.
Do you wanna go grab your car first?
No. I wanna grab my No, I already have this stuff, so
Okay.
we're good. All right. Y'all have a good one. Thank you
Have a
very
good
much.
one. Thank you
Yeah.
for
All
listening,
right.
and you guys
Laters.
have a good day. Make sure to make a movement and make sure to
Don't
be
do
happy.
drugs.
Yeah, be happy and
Yeah.
make a difference in the world, because at the end of the day, that's all
Right.
that matters. And be happy. Thank you.
Okay, and I say smoking hurts your lungs, and don't do drugs.
Yeah,
But hey,
make good decisions, not bad decisions.
no, yeah, no, we're just joking. Hope you guys have a good day. And
Yeah.
cool.
Have a good day and live your life to the fullest. That's
Live
all
your
I
life
gotta
to the
say.
fullest. All right, laters.